Welcome. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful, yet kind of invisible forces in your entire professional life, and that is company culture.
You know that feeling, right? That sense that something is just a little off. You're doing the work, you're hitting your deadlines, but the environment itself feels like you're constantly swimming against a current. Well, that feeling has a name, and really getting a handle on it is absolutely crucial for your career.
So let's start by building a solid foundation here. What are we really talking about when we use that term company culture?
Okay, I want you to think of it like a building's blueprint. You can't see the blueprint in the finished building, right? But it dictates the shape of every single room, the flow of every hallway. Culture is that invisible blueprint for a company. It's not about the fancy mission statement hanging on the wall. It's about the real, day-to-day lived experience of working there. It's the unwritten rules.
And this is so important. It goes way deeper than the surface level perks. A ping pong table or free snacks do not create a good culture. What really matters are these core elements. How do people communicate? Is it direct and to the point, or is it all done through back channels? Who actually makes the decisions? Do your leaders coach you, or do they just command you? Is burnout treated like a badge of honor? And maybe most importantly, what happens when people disagree? These right here are the real pillars of a company's culture.
So now that we have the blueprint, let's talk about the stakes. Because culture isn't just a nice to have. It is a critical force that is actively shaping your career path, whether you even realize it or not.
This really just gets right to the heart of it. Being in the wrong environment isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's kind of like trying to grow a beautiful plant in the wrong soil. I mean, no matter how much potential you have, if the conditions aren't right, you're just not gonna thrive. It becomes this constant, draining battle just to survive.
And you can see the specific impacts right here. A culture of trust, that psychological safety, is what allows you to take risks and speak your mind. The culture is what determines who gets noticed for that big project or that promotion. It dictates whether you're actually encouraged to learn and grow, or if you're just expected to execute tasks. And ultimately, all of this adds up to your happiness and your health, both in and out of the office.
So how can you diagnose the health of a culture? Whether it's your current workplace or one you're maybe thinking about joining. Let's look at some super clear red and green flags.
There's this great analogy I love for this. Is your workplace a greenhouse or is it a factory? See, a factory culture, that's built for output at all costs. When a machine breaks, the very first question is, who broke it? That's the blame and secrecy you see on the left. It runs on this constant sense of urgency because the assembly line can never stop. A greenhouse culture, on the other hand, is built for growth. When a plant isn't thriving, the question is, what does it need to grow? That's accountability and transparency. It respects natural rhythms. That's your work-life balance. And it understands that real growth requires experimentation, not a constant fear of failure.
And that's really the key takeaway here. These signs, whether it's a greenhouse or a factory, they're not just about vibes or feelings. They are actual indicators of a system's health. They're data points that reveal the company's fundamental operating system.
Okay, so armed with all this knowledge, what do you do now? Whether you're feeling that friction or you just want to be more intentional about your career, here's a practical playbook to help you navigate your situation. First up, step 1, observe. You need to become an anthropologist of your workplace. Seriously, watch the meetings, listen to the language people use, pay way less attention to the official mission statement, and a lot more attention to what gets rewarded in practice. Step 2, align. Now, this isn't about being fake. It's about finding allies and adapting your communication style so that you can actually be heard. How do the successful people in this culture present their ideas? And then finally, the most crucial step of all, evaluate. After you've observed and you've tested the waters, you have to ask yourself the hard question, can I genuinely thrive here, or is the personal cost of adapting just too high?
So, this is the question I want to leave you with. Is your company culture a springboard that's propelling you forward, or is it a cage that's holding you back? Because finding the answer to that question, that is the very first step toward building a career that doesn't just pay the bills, but one that truly fuels you. The invisible blueprint is always there. The difference is, now you know how to read it.